Day 2 of the high-profile India visit by US Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner and Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke, and the action was all happening here in Mumbai. It all started with a breakfast meeting with the flag bearers of India Inc. Nisha Podar and Davina Munro bring us the highlights of that closed-door meeting.
There are some quick moves on the policy front in India, and Uncle Sam has already acknowledged the change in perception. Visiting US Treasury Secretary, who yesterday lauded the government's efforts, today assured India Inc. the measures will encourage American companies to set up their investments in India.
We said we were very confident that now with the reform process in India taking place, we expected India to get back in the near future to a reasonable rate of growth. Two of the three largest economies in the world, the increase in terms of both investment and trade with each other should increase.
The global situation, the quantitative easing, the reforms done in India, the reforms yet to do, what has the government to do, balanced reforms to be done, how to improve our growth rates, how to improve employment. They are very positive. They are happy that some reforms have moved and have.
During his meeting with Geithner yesterday, Chidambaram had expressed concerns about the impact of Washington's quantitative easing on inflation. QE3 dominated the discussions with India Inc. as well.
QE3, basically just explain what the strategy for QE3 is, and assured us that the implications are not going to be as large as people fear.
While both sides are calling the meeting fruitful, there are a few sticking points like Washington's strong stance against outsourcing and visa curbs on Indian IT employees. And India Inc. would want to believe that this is just an election slogan which will fade away post-November. With Davina Munro, Nisha Podar, ET Now, Mumbai.
Not just that, Geithner and Bernanke also met with the RBI Governor D. Subbarao today. Anirudh Ghosh joins us with details of that meeting. Anirudh, what really was that conversation all about, the two big central bank governors?
Certainly, Sandeep, it was quite a momentous occasion, of course, given the fact that this is just the first time that a sitting Fed Reserve Chairman has actually come down to Mumbai and met with the RBI Governor in the Reserve Bank of India. So clearly, there was a lot that we've heard that has been spoken about between the two of the top governors, and clearly, a number of things that we've been picking up. The main thing about what we've been picking up in terms of their discussion has been the fact that there is this whole issue of reciprocity of bank licenses, the fact that there are a number of US banks that are active in India, not too many of them in the US as far as Indian banks are concerned. So clearly that's a sore point which Indian bankers have been raising for quite some time now, and of course sources are telling us that that is something that could have been brought up in the meeting with Mr. Bernanke as well. But then we heard Mr. Bernanke actually come out and give a statement which is of course off camera, and he actually said that he and Dr. Subbarao had quite a fruitful meeting. They discussed a number of issues of mutual interest between both the US as well as India, and of course he actually acknowledges the fact that India is becoming a key player in the global scheme of things, the fact that India has actually become a very key player as far as the G20 is concerned. All these things actually make India a very key ally as far as the whole economic situation is concerned. So clearly the US is acknowledging in many ways the fact that India seems to be a very key economic partner, and they could be actually looking at a number of growth avenues going forward in terms of both economic and banking ties between the two countries.
All right, Anirudh, we'll leave it at that. Many thanks for that update. Now, meanwhile, two UPA ministers are at loggerheads over fast-tracking clearances for mega infrastructure projects. We're talking about Environment Minister Jayanti Natarajan, who's written a letter of protest